Well. Happened a lot faster than I think any of us thought that was. And that's Harden getting traded to the Clippers. Not gonna lie, I thought I was in my head. I'm like, man, I didn't think it was gonna be all the way to the trade deadline. I didn't think. I thought it was gonna at least be about a month. You know, I didn't know if he was gonna play necessarily for the team, but I didn't think that. I thought it would still been a few more games. Like going in before. I just want, to see how long this goes. But at the same time, I get it. They're over here talking about that they wanted to, get it over and done with. There's no point of waiting until later on in the season anyway, which, to be honest, yeah, because on Philly's side, you keep waiting and you're hoping for another team, and if another team doesn't come, guess what? Now by towards the end, the Clippers can take more. Be like, no, we're not going to give you even more or what you want. We're going to give you less now because now you got like half the season to try to do something. Um, but yeah, no. So it happened. Happened, of course. While everybody's asleep. But I guess LA time it was all right. Whatever. Um, no, I was like, it's one of the things that I knew like Maury was gonna get no superstar and nothing like that. Of course, just the way I was like how the sort of seems is that whatever here is going to be for the whatever the next move is. I didn't think they were gonna get Terrence Mann. Uh, Hell, I didn't even think they'd get Kenyon Martin Jr. To be honest, I sort of thought that they would try to get Norman Powell just because you give him Harden, so that's another 20 point score that you'd want to have another 20 point score. Like Norman Powell with Embiid and Maxey can do that. Like we see in the playoff, he went for he was over here scoring over 30, pretty much. He had like a game of 50 and then like a game of 40 or something like that when he had to be the primary scorer. So I mean, granted, I was like, yeah, they would have a small backcourt with Maxey and Powell, but I was like, buddy, you also got like Batum and you got Covington and you got Embiid. Is not that big of a deal in that same way. And plus, it's like cool. They got the scoring, so y'all can cover the defense. But they didn't get Powell. I was like, so I sort of like sucked, but maybe also because I was like, I think he got a couple more years on the thing, so maybe they wanted expiring contracts. Um, from Philly though, I was like, yeah, outside of getting Powell, I was like, I think for even right now, I think that's pretty good. I was like, I don't necessarily know, like, I was like, Batum probably, I was like, their lineup probably be something of like Maxi. I was like, because I was like, you're gonna have, I was like, of course, it's gonna be Maxi, Tobias, and Embiid. Then I guess you gotta have probably more start. And to me, I would think that I would have Batum at the two, something crazy like that, where it's just like a pretty all big lineup considering Max is like 6'1". And I'm like, Batum can still guard at a pretty like good level. I was like, Tobias is a pretty decent defender. Um, but also too, you got Maxey and Tobias to score with Embiid. Moore can put up points. Long as his feelings is right. And Batum is a good catch and shoot 3 point shooter. He's a good facilitator too. So that way you ain't got to put the onus all on like Maxi or Embiid to get everybody going. And I guess, but I was like, again, Covington with Melton and Patrick Beverly. But then, I mean, either way, you're sort of going to have a small backcourt, even if you want to start like Beverly at the two. But I think it gives them good depth, and I think it gives them a good amount of players who can somewhat defend, while they're not like, none of them are young. They're all like over, like they're like 33, 30 something, something like that. So, I mean, like Covington and Batum. But they can still defend enough. They can still shoot enough. And with Maxi and Embiid, I think it's a different play style than what you got with the Clippers, where George and Kawhi dominated so much, and they're of course with Westbrook it's like they're everything moving faster, but how it's been the last couple of years, it's been slow pace, so it's been like you just sitting there, you just waiting. Where it's like Maxi gonna go into the paint, describe, or shoot a jumper extra early, to get it in the offense. I was like, Embiid is over here clogging the paint, so a lot of them have a lot more open shots and ready to go. And also Nick Nurse style might have them, playing a little different, where everybody sort of touched the ball, sort of how he did in Toronto, where everybody sort of got their little fair share of shots. Um, but I think the pace is going to allow them to play faster, which is going to get everybody else like touches and able to move, and that way you probably will try to negate some of your small backcourt type stuff because they're going to have that. There's too many of them that's small. But and then I was like Kenyon Martin Jr. I was like, I also think that's good too because I was like, you did get a young player in this, and to be honest, Terry Mann is young, but he's young in like NBA year, but not young at age. So so like he pretty much how he sort of is. I think he'd been all right if he came in and played the two with Maxi. But Kenyon Martin Jr., I think you get somebody who is like athletic. Also, I think the chance to play is a lot more open than it was with the Clippers. He's still relatively young too. So I think so I think his athleticism and all that other stuff is going to help them uh, in a way that's because they don't really have a lot of young. They got young players. They got like Springer and stuff like that, but they don't have young player that you can sort of count on him already to throw him in and see what he does. And you got some vets in there, but you can't just have a bunch of old people. We've seen how that sort of work with the Lakers. Um, yeah, so for the 76ers side, I was like, it'll be fine. It'll be good. I was like, they'll still. I was like, I think this just helps them be more at number 3 now. I was like, I think they still will probably battle somewhat with them, Cleveland, and the Knicks of that number 3 spot. But with Embiid, I was like, Embiid being like he is an Embiid caliber person. You should get the number 3 with him. But I do I was like, but I do understand how it might be a while just just with the team you don't have and then if they make another trade or something like that. But now they're fine. For the Clippers, I think they're gonna have a little bit more jankier way of playing with Harden just because so far they sort of look. I was like they been moving faster with Westbrook. I was like Paul George seems like he's more closer to being back of who we thought he was, and somehow some of the injuries got him, and I was like it could be health, of course, but I think it's also Westbrook because I was like he's sort of looking like how he was in OKC with Westbrook, where Westbrook was just getting the ball and he was just ready to shoot, ready to just take advantage of the defense. And even Kawhi is even now also got a little bit more bounce. But they sort of got they got a chance to play with each other as well too. Where like it's also a little bit easier for him because now he's over here coming like right off screen ready to shoot. He's also like he's not taking so much of he's not doing so many dribbles and trying to get he like as soon as Westbrook gets on the ball he's pretty much ready to shoot. With Harden, I was like especially if he starts, which he's probably going to start. Uh, I think if he's able to do a lot more catch and shoot stuff, I think it'll work out fine. Um, but I was like, I think if it's got, I was like, and yes, he led everything in assists, but I think that's a lot easier when I'm like, the only person you really gotta really feed is Embiid to do a lot of pick and roll that way. Whereas with here, it's like, well, now you got Westbrook just sitting somewhere again now instead of being able to attack like how he used to be. George and Kawhi, I was like, they're you sharing the ball with so many people that might be like, oh, he's gonna get a lot more assists. When it might be just like it might be like it could be hockey assist type of thing, where it's like that extra pass. But I don't know. I feel like he might slow it down. I'm not just talking about like how he gets into his shot where he got to do dribble, step back, and shoot. But I just think that the rhythm just going to be a minute for all four of them to try to get on the same page, yet alone who else they might try to throw in, with Mann and Powell, from the bench and stuff like that. This probably could help out, like, player like Zubac and stuff like that, because he's pretty good at getting the big men the ball. Um, I don't even think it'd be that bad with maybe Kawhi. Paul George will have to see, but I think it's probably going to be up to Ty Lue to sort of just stagnate minutes for everybody and try to find the right matchup of who could play pretty good with each other. I mean, they're going to start the game with each other, but that doesn't mean that somebody go get pulled early, then they come back, and so while somebody else get taken out and stuff like that. And also, too, let's be honest, Paul George had a freak injury, Kawhi had a freak injury. Harden's not gonna have any problem being like, all right, cool. Once they gone, we go back to a little bit of my game. We gotta do this, to keep things afloat going. But no, I like they'll be pretty good this season, regardless of how trying to figure it out. I don't think it's gonna be as complicated like Luka and Kyrie to try to figure out how to play. Yeah, that was like for as far as regular season goes, I was like they stay relatively healthy. With Harden doesn't really get injured like that. Westbrook doesn't get injured like that. So you at least got those two dudes to try to carry afloat the team if one of those other ones get hurt or both of them go down for a good amount of time. Not for like how it was at the end of the season, but just like, oh, okay, this one missed 10, this one missed 10, this one missed 3, this one missed 3, something like that. But I think this probably, James Harden got what he wanted. And I was like, technically, Daryl Morey got what he wanted because there was a whole bunch of other picks and stuff like that, too, that's here. And that'll get flipped for probably more of a player than the players that got traded because they'll probably just keep them because they're already expiring contracts unless you get, like, actually somebody worth a damn. But when you think of the Harden trade, I was like, I think it's fine. We'll see how it all goes. I don't think it really changes anything because, of course, with the Clippers, this is a playoff thing, where it's like the 76ers, this really just an evaluation of the team thing in all sense. But anyway, what do you think? Let me know. You like this video? Thanks. Not, hey, maybe next time. But until then, see you later.